Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 Zambia. Hello, Zambia. Hello, Zambia. Thank you so much. I am back as I promised that I'll be back at 10:30. I hope you are there with me because we need to get something out of the way. Please join me. Tell someone thank you, Alice, for coming on. Alice is always on her feet from the United States. Thank you so much for joining us. We are welcoming our colleagues from the diaspora and also from across the country. A very important interaction that I want to have with the nation today. Unfortunately, I'm going to be on my feet as I talk because of the program that we have. I had to stop in order to address one issue that is trending at the moment and getting a lot of our people deeply stressed. And I thought that we needed to get on to this issue and leave it behind as we prepare for what lies ahead. We've already reached the golden number. I just want to mention the fact that this statement could have been made by, and it's going to be a little shaky because I'm moving, but we will finish this conversation. I just wanted to say that this statement could have been released by my communications director, Dr. Mwaka, as always is the case, to clarify, the questions that are being asked. But basically, I decided to do it myself. My type of leadership is such that I would like to have a hands-on with matters that concern my candidature and also my leadership as president of the party, but also as a candidate in this election. So I have come to you myself to be able to just let you know where we stand. I'm just giving it a little bit of time so that at least we can reach 200 people that can share again with more people on this issue that is before us. And so if there's a shaking hand, it's because of this old man trying to stay steady here. Once again, thank you for joining me. I have come to you today arising from the frenzy that I woke up to on social media this morning from, let me put it this way, from our opponents. They think they are hidden, but we think we know who they are. But that's not important. I think that I'm here as the person that is in the center of this debate, and I would like to talk about the issues that have been raised. First of all, I want to confirm the fact that, yes, the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy had meetings with the ECZ, which is something that I do from time to time. You know that my candidature and my participation in politics is all about the Zambian people, integrity and morality. And when I find something that is going wrong in our country or being done wrongly, and that it would injure the dignity and the sanctity of our democracy and the freedoms and also the security of the Zambian people, you Zambians know that never Mumba will stand up and speak for us. You know that I've done that since I was 17 years old. I've never departed from it. For 44 years, there's none of you that can point a finger at me that I've been unpatriotic at any point of my life. There's some security that you have that Nevers Mumba will stand by the hardest truth and pay the hardest price and the highest price, regardless of what it entails. I've never shied away from justice matters. I've never shied away from standing up for the Zambian people, whether it's in the church setup or it's in the political setup. We are facing a challenging time as a nation. And we must make sure that as we get to the election and beyond the election, the people of this country shall be safe. That none of the political players or institutional players in our country, either running the elections or trying to run the elections, are going to plunge this country into uncertain danger. I will not allow it. From a young age, I've stood for this country, carried a banner over my life, Zambia shall be saved. I'm not going to drop that banner today for anybody or anyone. Zambia deserves better, and it must be a country that becomes an example continuously on this continent of Africa as the guiding light. So you can be assured that once I feel uncomfortable about something, I'll talk about it. And I would urge Zambians, together with myself, to find a workable way in which to ensure that security and the prosperity of our country is considered as a priority. This morning, I have looked at some of the postings that are online, and I think that the only reason I've come back here is to tell you that the statements that I've seen are most unfortunate from our enemies. Talking about Nevers Mumba receiving money to do certain acts. You must understand that Nevers Mumba is not that type of politician, has never been that type of politician. And I'm not a politician like the others. You know that. That's why I find myself in such difficult positions. I never opt for easy answers. If I did, I would not be where I am today. I would be packed somewhere after having eaten or received instant gratification, like many people. Ours is a long-haul fight. I started this fight when I was 17 years old. I'm still on it. And if it was sustained by political organization or by rich people, I would not have lasted this long. My God keeps us. My God is the one who gave me this vision. I fight it like a bulldog would fight for my country, Zambia. I will not stop today to fight for this nation. So let me just address the issue at hand. Our team, I'm not going to preempt my press conference on Monday. I'm going to have that press conference, and I want to confirm that that press conference is going to be an important discussion with the nation in preparation for this election that is coming and beyond. I'm going to raise issues that are going to try to unify us as a nation, to make sure that any nonsense that is being perpetuated, planned, or worked on is exposed and put aside so that Zambians can get the very best of their aspirations. So the Monday press conference will not be preempted today. But what that press conference is about is to let the nation know our conversation with the Electoral Commission of Zambia, our dispute with them, and our position on how we believe that this institution must be held accountable. We will discuss that. I will not get into the other details of what we're going to say because I want you to join me on Monday morning as I do this. We are on the campaign trail. We are busy, but I thought that I needed to give the Zambians who are my bosses an opportunity to hear me out. What this press conference is not about, it's not about all the speculations that are being thrown around. Those speculations are being thrown around by our enemies, as they always do. There's nothing sinister about me addressing the press. The very fact that I'm addressing the press does not mean in any way that somebody has paid me to address the press. I cannot be paid. If I were to be paid, you would have known that Nevers Mumba belonged to that group. I don't belong to that group at all. I'm standing where I'm standing today, paying the very highest price in everything that I do because I want to stand on truth. And anybody that stands on truth pays the highest price. Jesus was eventually nailed to the tree because he refused to bow. And many in history can attest to the fact that anybody who has brought permanent change or sustainable change are not the easy ones who just get this in order to go somewhere. It's those that realize that there's a price to pay, and the price is sometimes standing alone. I want to assure the Zambian people that one thing you can be comfortable with about myself is that Nevers Mumba will not betray you. Nevers Mumba will not betray his children, my grandchildren, or the Zambian people. If there was any trace in me to betray the Zambian people, I would have done that a long time ago. You can be comfortable when Nevers says he's going to address the nation. It's because he is going to speak on your behalf. He's going to fight the evils that can stop us from becoming the greatest nation that God has always intended for us to become. You can be assured that Nevers Mumba is going to embrace only what is right and discard that which is wrong. I'm not only a politician, I stand as a servant of God with a vision of Zambia shall be saved, which I've carried ever since I was a young man. And I do not know how many candidates that are standing today have a lifelong vision like that of Zambia shall be saved. The reason is simple. It's because I'm not in this thing for politics. I'm into this thing for leadership. There is a difference between a politician and a leader. And that is the difference I want to distinguish becoming president of this country. I am running for president of the Republic of Zambia. And because I'm running for this country, it is my responsibility to highlight evils that are coming along the path as we move towards the election. I am disheartened that some people would claim or even think that someone can give me money in order to change my mind. I remember the words of the late President Frederick Chiluba, who was very close to me at certain points. He was telling the pastors, he said, you know what, Nevers is a guy that even when you want to help him, it's so difficult to help him because you don't know whether he will receive that amount for Coca-Cola while he's taking a trip, because he wants to interrogate what that money is for, especially if it's coming from somebody who has power to control the mind of others. I am not a rich man, but I'm not a poor man either. My God has looked after me, and he will continue to look after me. And the same God that has looked after me, I want him to look after this country. And the very poor of our nation deserve better. So today, I want to assure the Zambian people, the press conference I'm having on Monday is a press conference in which I'm going to deal with the challenges that could affect the safety, the peace, and the stability of the country beyond the election. As I have been able to ascertain from my meetings with the ECZ, we have a huge problem. And if we don't resolve it quickly, I appeal to my friends in the opposition, to be to be not just to be rushing in the campaigns, but also to keep an eye on the process that is going to take us there, because the two things go together. To be very frustrating for us to run the races, and yet we are not looking at a railroad that's going to take the train to the next station. What if the railroad is broken? We need to make sure that it is fixed as we move towards the next station. But I want to assure the Zambian people, the speculations that I've seen online about what the people think that this press conference is going to be, it's not going to be about those things you're talking about. We are going to discuss together, not just me, but with you, on how we are going to ensure safety before, during, and after the election. That's my vision for Zambia shall be saved. So please, I want to ask you to be ready to join me on Monday. To the church, I want to ask you to stand firm. This election that is coming, you hold the key. I appeal to you again. You've got a brother who has worked in this country as a minister of the gospel for 44 years. I have cried, prayed for this nation under the theme of Zambia shall be saved. We may not look advantaged in this campaign, but which Christian in the Bible or in life looked preferred, except when God decided this is how it's going to be done. No one is going to stand in our way. But don't get into that booth. Don't get into that booth and choose unrighteousness above righteousness. Do not get into that booth with the lie that is being peddled that there are only a few that are entitled to become presidents in this coming election because according to them, the wind is blowing in their direction. We have voted for the wind before, and we continue to suffer after the wind has been voted for. Let's vote for leadership. I've made myself available as presidential candidate because I know what God has done in my life and the preparation that he has placed in my heart. And I know that the Zambian people know who Nevers Mumba is. But I said to the church, you are the ones who are going to upset this election. Yes, there's a lot of excitement on many fronts of those who believe they are the ones who qualify to be leaders of this country. But I call on the church to stand with me, to stand with God, to stand with righteousness, and let this Christian nation, for a change, be guided by Christian values and have a president that can interpret the declaration of Zambia as a Christian nation into reality. And I am there to help achieve that. I'm one of those that you know to have served this country in many areas. So today I've only come on to assure the Zambian people, you can never, never go wrong by trusting that Nevas Mumba is a patriot. He is committed to this country. I pray for Zambia every day that Zambia will become the nation that God has always intended for it to become. So all the lies that are online concerning Nevas Mumba getting money, from who? God has always provided for us, and He'll always do that. And I think that's how cheap politics has become, and that is what fake news has started to do. So I want Zambia to be at peace. Nevas Mumba stands with you every day to ensure that together we can make Zambia a great nation. So please disregard all, sorry for using this word, all the garbage that our opponents continue to throw online about either myself, about my party, and my candidature. My candidature is firm, and we are going to ensure that all the lies that have been told are exposed on Monday. But Monday is an extremely important day, and I want you to join me so that we can together navigate the path to a new Zambia. Church, once again, I'm back on your case. You will do the upset. It doesn't matter which denomination you belong to. Righteousness exalts a nation. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. When the righteous rule, people rejoice. And Jesus says, we truly are the salt of the earth. And therefore we must place that salt within the beef stew in order to give it taste and also to preserve the nation. I offer myself as your next president, and I know together we can transform this country. Regardless of who you thought you wanted to vote for, I pitch myself to you to consider making Nevas Mumba your next president. I thank you, and may God richly bless you. I just thought I needed to assure the nation that disregard the garbage that is online. I do have an important, life-changing, controversial statement that I'm going to make on Monday, but it's none of what our opponents and our enemies are propagating online. I thank you, and may God bless our great republic. Thank you.